thing that initially captured my attention with this work, No Man's Land, is the tension that's created in multiple ways. One is just the energy that's seen with the marks, these kind of bursts, the starburst or explosions of these different shapes. But then as you're looking at it, is you notice that the negative space, the space where there isn't any lines that are the borders between these forms, start to get this tension and this energy about them. The thing that's unique about this work at the BMA is that not only do we have the final published edition, but we also have 6 states. In printmaking, states are what happens as you're working on the copper engraving and you're making your marks, and throughout the process you're pulling proofs, you're pulling prints from that plate to see your progress. And sometimes it's used just as a tool as you're going along, and other artists like James Siena in this situation has decided to present these as a special work in and of itself, of all 6 states as well as the 7th final state. You can see the image growing. You get a little glimpse into the artist's mind and his hand as he's building this image. James Siena always likes to construct his images around some sort of guiding principle or rule or grid, and in this case you can see that he's starting out with a very simple few lines to delineate each of these shapes, and as they progress they get denser and denser and the energy builds. Not only is there a high tension between the bursts in the negative space, but there's also a tension with the edge of the plate. James Siena, in many of his works, likes to actively engage the perimeter of the work and really push against that and have a very concentrated, dense energy within the piece. In a lot of James Siena's works, he likes to not only have a concentration and attention within the image, but also likes to actively engage the perimeter of the work, to have you really be aware of the edge of the plate, in this case, or the edge of the painting, and really activate that rectangle. So here there's an outward force against the perimeters as well as the interior push against little veins of negative space. James Siena says that if you've spent a long enough time with any of his works, that they tell the story of their own making. And in this case, that is true with the final state, but gives you a little insight into the decision to put out into the world this progressive state. So here, James Siena is not only giving us a great piece in and of itself, but his decision to show us the progress and the building of the work lets us fully understand the actions of his hand and his mind, and takes us along that journey with him to the final piece.